Hi, my name is Naomi Richardson, and welcome to another episode of the Power Chat series. Today's episode is Reflection of the Inner Self, and my guest today is Nicole Carter, a dynamic community leader and owner and broker of Carter Group Realty Worldwide. Nicole also serves as Commissioner of Real Estate for the Detroit Wayne Joint Building Authority and is recognized as a prominent figure in the Detroit drum and dance community. How are you today?
Oh, I'm doing awesome. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for being on here today.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Would you like to explain to the audience a little bit about yourself and then we'll get started into the questions?
Sure. I'm Nicole Carter, lover of all things Detroit, lover of love, lover of real estate, the arts, and I really get a kick out of living, loving, contributing to, and enjoying the great city of Detroit, this world-class city of Detroit, Michigan. So I have
Thank
two
you so much.
daughters, and I'm an identical twin, and I don't think I mentioned, I'm also a proud member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. Yes. And yeah, I'm excited to be here.
Thank you so much. I'm going to get started with the questions.
Yes.
How did you discover your love for African dance and how did you begin that significant part of your life?
I discovered my love for African dance, first of all, because if we really sit with ourselves and reflect in, we know who we really are. And if we have any sort of culture and nurturing from a profound place, such as like my mother, who is very grounded and rooted in who we originally were and are. It was just full circle as a dancer. Of course, you go through the regular, you go to ballet class from the time you're two and all of those things, which was amazing. And you learn discipline and structure and some rudimentary dance things. However, I have a twin sister, identical twin sister, and when we were modeling, when we were probably 17, 18, we were at a modeling rehearsal, and it just turned out that there was an African drum and dance class going on, which we knew of, rooted in our culture and ethnicity, our structures. But when we heard the drums, there was no more modeling that day. Like Twin and I just kind of went into a trance because you're very sinew, like your DNA kind of just snatches you all the way back. And the drums called us. And we were standing there holding hands, watching them move across the floor. And the ladies were just like, come on. And that was it. Like from that moment on, we just kind of
Wow.
got in there and it took a hold of us and we took a hold of it. And we're one. That's what we do to this day. Our children do it. Her sons drum and my daughters, she has sons and daughters. Traditionally, the girls dance and the men drum. But these days you can do both, but the whole family does it.
That's amazing.
Hmm. Thank you.
When studying, teaching, and performing West African drum and dance, who are you as an artist in that realm, and what story are you proud to tell through that specific medium?
Who am I am all of us. I am your reflection. I am the ancestors, the ones I know, the ones I don't know. I'm the future. I'm dancing for myself. I'm a healer. I am a I am an artist giving vision and energy and light to whatever the mood is that needs to be conveyed. Or I'm possibly a goddess, a magician, changing the energy from what it is, which might be not what we all need, to what we need. Hopefully, that is my prayer. It's a prayer and a meditation as I dance. You are a dancer, has an amazing power, it's an amazing spirit, right? So traditionally in Africa, right, where we come from, and in many other cultures around the world, which we know all expounded out from the original Asiatic, right? Okay, Asia Major, right? If you go
Yes.
all the way back. So what dance does is it's a component of spiritual work. So my prayer meditation is that's what I'm expounding out. Whatever needs to be conveyed or whatever energy needs to be changed, whether it be sorrow, whether it be reverence, whether it be celebration, that's my prayer meditation, that I'm that for that, and commanding the space and the energy, changing if it needs to be. And then the second question was?
What story are you proud to tell through that specific medium?
Just one of tradition and legacy. Yeah, that's the story. That's always the story.
Thank you.
And pride.
What does your day-to-day routine of managing real estate, working with and in Detroit as a whole, and your commitments with boards such as Norwest Art Gallery, Dance Theater of Harlem / the Detroit, and many others look like?
My day-to-day, you want to know a day-to-day?
Yes.
Crazy, off the chain, ridiculous, not made for mere mortals. Okay, goddess realm.
I love that. Say it again. She said not made for mere mortals.
No.
Oh my gosh.
No,
You are so
many people.
I knew this was going to be a good episode.
It's going to be a great episode. Every time we show up, it's great, right? We're here. So what else could happen? It's going to be magic.
Wow. Not made for mere mortals. Continue.
No, it is not. Because if you act like a mere mortal in certain situations, you will act like a mere mortal. You're going to be tired. You're going to be groggy, angry, upset. So often I coach myself, and I have to elevate myself into the thinking and being and operating and speaking of the goddess realm. Because if you just decide, oh, I'm just a mere mortal, no, you're not going to get half of the stuff done that needs to be done. Okay. So, and if you don't do it, who's going to do it? No, it's not easy.
True. Wow.
It's crazy. It's wild. But what it is though, it's also grounded and rooted and decided. So I am a visionary. I'm very creative. I see things, but I also, what I think is dangerous makes me dangerous as a visionary, is that I'm also an executor. Like I get it done. Like, so you have the vision, right? You have people who that's what they do. They envision things and that's it. They may not be able to strategize to execution. So, those things allow me to do a crazy amount of things in a day. But what is tantamount to all of it is being rooted and grounded and decided in who you are and where you are, right? So I start my days before I even open my eyes. It's in a state of meditation of thankful and grateful. So when I teach my two daughters, Amina and Phoenix, every morning, it should be easy to come up with 40 things, at least 40 things that you are thankful and grateful for. And you give thanks to the creator, to the almighty, the omnipotent God, goddess, the masculine, the feminine, for everything. But it should be very easy for everyone to come up with at least 40 things, So I start that. And then from there, the actuality of how I manage things is I have about 3 different to-do lists. So at night, as you're preparing your mind to come down, right, I have to purge. You have to get it out somehow, somewhere. So, I have notepads and Moleskine little notebooks and things all over the place. And so I just write things out. Also in my notes app, Notion, whatever, send myself emails. And then I just reprioritize and organize throughout the day. So probably top of the morning, middle of the day, and, late or whatever. And so I'm just prioritizing. And because real estate, no day is the same. No two conversations are going to be the same. No clients the same. Because of all the boards and things that I'm on, MEDF, Minerva Education Development Fund, Delta Sigma Theta, Sorority Incorporated, Detroit Alumni Chapter, the Global Initiative Committee for GMAR, Greater Metropolitan Association of Realtors, ULI, DWJBA, all these things. I'm also a mom, they sail, they ski, they golf, they do all these things. And then we dance, and then I love girlfriending, twirling, as I call it, twirling about the city. So all these things require time and attention and energy, right? Not to mention the regular things, cooking, cleaning, the blah, 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 driving. you just reprioritize throughout the day, because it's very easy for things to get off track, which it's okay. Like, that's the human factor of it all, right?
Yes.
But what you have to do is you have to command the space and time and energy, and you have to pull it back together. So in my world, what works for me is doing power hours. So I will be a mommy. I will be, a diva. I will be a delta. I'll do all these things, and I will pull it back in. So maybe the morning was crazy off the chain, like nobody would believe it, right? But when I pull up to the school, I'll be like, hold on 1 second. It taking 2 seconds. Let me get my lipstick on. You know what I mean? Well, let me back up. When I get out the bed, I typically do a yoga meditation. I turn my singing bowls on. Let me give you the real deal. So let me take it back a little bit before.
I'm listening.
Okay. So you have to take, as a mother, as a mother doing all these things, you have to take, I don't care if it's 5 seconds for yourself. You have to deep breath. Everybody's going to be okay. Nobody's going to fall off the planet if you take 5 seconds. I
Yes.
tried 5 minutes, but maybe it's 60 seconds. But I'm thankful and grateful for the 60 seconds, right? So I will light incense. I will turn on, hey, Google, play singing bowl meditation, 7 chakra healing. You know what I mean? Turn that on, light my incense. Like I said, the 40 things that I'm thankful and grateful that happens before I even get out the bed. And I do constantly meditate, pray throughout the day. Get my yoga on. I am a yogi. I do yoga. The goal is 3 times a day. And I'll be honest, this week, the last week and a half has been off for me. So I've not been on that, but that is pretty much how I maintain and manage all the stress, potential stress that I am designed to manage. I'm decided I'm going to manage it. So 3 times a day is my goal. I'll start the morning that way. And then I'll wait after I take a minute. If it's 60 seconds I can get, or 5 minutes, I'm happy, or 30 is really fabulous. An hour is like, vacation. So what I'll do, all those things happen in the morning, then I get the kids up, running out, but I do pause 5 minutes because color therapy, I do believe in it, and that's lipstick, okay? That is I'm sorry if nobody believes it, they think it's too much. Lipstick, color therapy, save yourself, okay? You need to be invigorated. Color is therapy. Art is therapy. Before I go pull up at my kids' school, I'm going to have lipstick on. Believe that. There is no bonnet. There are no house shoes and pajamas outside the door. It is a pull it together. And that helps me, because when you look, it's like bon chic, bon genre. It's a French saying, is BCBG. It means when you look good, you feel good.
Yes.
So how you gonna go out in the world and do, be amazing when you don't feel the most amazing that you can? So I do that. And then once I drop the kids, I'll take 2 seconds. I get my coffee. Everybody knows I love coffee. And then I reorganize my list, because I probably did 8 things on the way to school, right? And so I reprioritize and I do a power hour. My first power hour generally happens between 9 and 11. And when I say power hour, that could be a power 15. What it is deep work. It's focused work. So whatever's going on in my world, it could be closings, it could be, managing client times, it could be outreach, many different things, crunchy numbers, whatever. I'm going to take my list. I'm going to put my phone probably on airplane mode, because it'll just never stop, which I'm thankful and grateful for. And I'm going to turn my real hip hop up, my jazz, or, my house music, or whatever it is, might be Beyonce, whatever. I'm going to turn it up, and I'm turning airplane mode on, because I'm only outputting at that time. I'm not taking anything new. It's like, hold on, pause the world. Let me catch up. Let me do what I got to do my thing. And then I'm pumping stuff up. So when it's emails are set up to go out. So when I power back on, everything's just going out. I answer texts, I answer voicemails, all of that. So you have to kind of pause the world, like be in charge, because otherwise it'll just keep coming at you, and it's just too much. So you got to be in command of your space and of your energy and what you're putting out. And then hopefully, if all is well in the world, I'll get to do that like maybe 2 more times. And again, my power hour could be 15, it could be 5 minutes, it could be 15 minutes, it could be 30, it could be an hour, all the way up to 2 hours. And then, you got to get back to the bricks. So sometimes I'm in the field running, twirling around, kicking in abandoned door buildings and, trying to sell properties. That's residential, commercial, or it could be development space. I could be at meetings or whatever, just twirling in the city, making it happen.
I am fangirling right now.
Okay, boom, let's do it.
I'm like, oh, when you started talking about to-do lists, that is my
Yes.
thing. I have one for work. I have one for life. I have one for school.
Yes.
Wow. You are absolutely inspiring.
Ooh, thank you. And you inspire me too. I'm your reflection. So let's go.
Wow.
Look at you doing this podcast. Like, I'm inspired. I have like zero social media acumen, like everybody's like, oh, the way you dress, you should be a social media star. I'm like, how am I live and record it at the same time? I don't get it. You guys are amazing.
As a former fashion director, how are you unique in the ways of collecting fashion and styling individuals? And what is your favorite experience?
Okay, so one, how am I unique? Is that the first question? Just want to make sure I'm hearing. It's active listening, y'all. You got to say it back. Right. So one, how am I unique? I'm unique in the fact that very early on, I was comfortable being uncomfortable. And so that means I do whatever I want with no real regard for other people's feelings in the space of style. Like when I was 4, I remember, so my paternal grandmother, they both were like, my maternal and paternal grandmothers were it. Okay, diva was diva. Okay, that's where diva was born. So my paternal grandmother, she sewed and was a hairstylist and all those things. And that era was a can-do era. So of course everyone knew how to sew. There was no, I'm missing a button, I'm gonna throw it away. You know what I'm saying? That's not like today. Not the seam busted, I'm throwing it away. No, that didn't happen. But so she made us some dresses. I remember these little corduroy overalls, and she embroidered these flowers on it. And I say us because I'm a twin, so everything is us for me. So I remember it was orange and it had these flowers, and I wanted to wear this plaid shirt underneath it. And I wanted to wear one purple sock and one white ruffle socks. The socks, the church socks. Okay. And I wanted to wear the patent leather Mary Jane's. And they were like, you can't wear that. I was like, this is it. This is what I'm wearing. I'm doing it.
Yes.
Yeah. And my mom was like, hey. And then I remember Essence magazine, right? It's important to see yourself, y'all. It's very important to see yourself. Essence magazine, Susan L. Taylor, icon, So I would just get these magazines. It would be like the Vogue, the Essence, the Ebony, the Jets. I would just turn the pages with so much excitement and so much thirst and want for what was about to leap off the pages. Remember, I don't know if you may be too young for Ebony Fashion Fair.
Oh, I've looked at these magazines.
No, honey. It's not a magazine, honey. What it is it's a full, actual, real, live fashion experience. So I don't know if you may not know Robert Johnson and Eunice Johnson. Eunice Johnson is Robert Johnson's wife. I got to give y'all a little history, Black history here, a little pause for the cause. So Eunice Johnson, money, publishing company. Look it up, y'all. Brother Johnson Publishing, Ebony and Jet magazines. Okay, so huge Black family doing it big. Eunice was it in fashion world. So she would travel going to the shows, like all the fashion shows. And I'm saying like the couture shows. And this is back in the day, okay, before people were really, everybody knew about it and doing it. She would go and she would purchase these things. And she was like, I'm gonna bring this to the people. And so Eunice Johnson's a big deal. She brought the real deal fashion to the States and actually the world, featuring Black models doing it Black style. Like you got all the razzmatazz, all the Black girl magic, Black man magic. It was happening way back then. And you had to buy a ticket. You had to be dressed for the nines. So my mother would make sure we went every year from the time we were little with we had the white rabbit fur, with the fur muff on, little girls. But you knew you had to have stockings, your little sweater set on with the pom-poms. This was the 80s, y'all, okay? So we were doing it like that. The little patent leather shoes. And you went and you sat at the table or you sat the runway show. And so you got to look these up on YouTube because this is like you don't know what you're missing. Life is not complete. And so from there, you see these fashion, you see, well, you go to church. If you're in the church realm, if you're Christian, you go to church. If you're Muslim, you go to mosque, Buddhist, you go to temple, whatever. But you know how we do. When we dress up, it's a situation. Okay.
Yes.
So it is a whole situation. So you saw this on full display in the couture world, and it was a thing. So that was an indelible mark on my creativity and my fashion. And so from there on, it's just been do you, do it well, and make no apologies, because that is a true diva. And
Wow.
be kind, right? So I do whatever, from vintage, I can shop anywhere, or I can not shop at all. I can go in anybody's closet and make things happen. It's like oxygen, like breathing for me. I love it.
Go into my closet and make things.
No, girl, just don't be scared, don't be scared, don't be mad. Let's do it.
So that was your favorite experience, like the indent?
Ebony Fashion Fair was good. I mean, going through the magazines, like,
Yeah.
I still to this day, like I just did it. My girls know, like, fall fashion means mommy has to get a fresh fall manicure. That's the first thing. Okay, because the nails have to be, and then you have to get the Vogue, the L, the Essence. You gotta stack them all up. Okay. The first night you can do it, you put the fall fashion shows. I have a projector in the living room, so I put the fall fashion shows on the wall. And we are going to sit, and I'm going to go. I always do. Ask one of my best friends, my aunt Zachary in Brooklyn. She will tell you that I'm going to flip the magazine, the Vogue, from the back to the front, not the front to the back, because you don't control me. You don't get to tell me how to look at this. So I'm going to go through each page, and I'm going to look at the advertisements are really it for fall, right? The fall. So I'm going to go through. Those are my experiences. Like, I love every fall doing that. I love, as a fashion director, creating all these things. So circle back, my point was, as a 4-year-old and on, seeing these magazines, looking at how people put things together, the colors, the textures, the story that they conveyed, what was the theme? Why did they choose that? How did it relate to the clothes? How did it relate to fashion? How did it not relate? And what did it make you think and feel? So that's how that was experiencing fashion as art, like that pinnacle.
Yes.
Fashion as art. Like, that's my Cash App handle, y'all. Fashion as Art Pro. But it really is an art form, and just loving that whole point where fashion becomes art. It's my jam. It is my jam. Yeah, sorry.
I love it.
I guess
don't apologize for anything.
I see fashion, and I see style, I see fashion, I see art in like everything, and I love it. From like selecting a glass, like at a vintage store, or like nails, or like in nature. I'm inspired by many things and many, many people.
Wow. It's
exciting.
I'm taking a lot in right now.
Yes.
And I love it. So this is the last question. And this is probably my favorite question. So the title of this episode is Reflection of the Inner Self. And I want to bring more perspective into what it truly means. Reading your bio, you've shown that you've had a lot of experience with different individuals, walks of life, and many other aspects of life that other people may not have experienced yet. What is your relationship with self-reflection, and how does reflection continue to shape who you are and the way you interact with the world, individuals, and new environments?
Yeah, so self-reflection, inner reflection, as I mentioned, it is tantamount to how you approach your day, what you're going to accomplish for the day, because you're going to be successful, right? Because we keep getting up, we keep doing this. So I reflect on what I did, because someone told me, you do a lot. Like, you're always working to operate at this excellent level and do all these amazing things, but do you ever pause to reflect upon what you have done, and pause to admit your accomplishments. And I said, that's a good point. And I don't know that I do that a lot, but I am working at doing that. And so, with that being said, it's important to look back at what you did accomplish for the day. And that's why those to-do lists are great, because one satisfaction that I really revel in is crossing off things that I've done. It just gives, like, that's pen and paper is the bomb, y'all. It's still the bomb. Do a handwritten letter and see what happens. Do a handwritten thank you note. See how it just like grabs and hugs somebody from afar. Like, they gonna love it. But pen and paper, cross it off. What did I do? What did I accomplish? And so you'd be like, oh yeah, no, I thought you feel like you're spinning, right? Sometimes you feel like you didn't do that much. But then when you're like, oh no, I crossed off like maybe like 6 things. And then you just move on. So you got to stay reflective and in grace of yourself, and realize that you are amazing, even when you feel like maybe you're not doing so great. And then so reflecting on what you did and where you want to go, and keeping that vision, right? So every day you can say, I did this. Every week you can say, oh, I did this for the week. Every month you can be like, oh, I did this. And then you look back every quarter, and then every 6 months, and every year, and you're like, yeah, I'm it. Right. So you got to stay grounded and rooted. Then also there's another component, like my parents. Mommy, I'll say her name. Everybody needs to listen up. It's Maddie Pearl Carter. Maddie Pearl Russell Carter, but some people call her Subi, if you know her like that. But my mother transitioned. She's an ancestor now, earlier this year. And so I'm thankful, I give thanks for her and all that she gave to us. She was a very solid woman, a very solid teacher, a very solid diva, a very solid grandmother, a very solid wife, a very solid cousin, niece, daughter. She was it. A bibliophile, a artist in many rights, an amazing quilter, mother of 4, and she still got in the over the knee boots. So we were all right. We were all right. So my mother gave us a great foundation and understanding of who we are, where we came from, and where we could go. So it was never quote unquote ordinary in our house. So if we had a discipline situation, I mean, you may have to single line copy the encyclopedia section that she's identified. It was excellent. Oh, your handwriting will be together, and you're gonna write about, disrespect, or you're gonna write about, verbiage, or you're gonna write about diction. She's not gonna keep telling you to stop slurring your words. She's not. You'll just write about it, and then you'll get it. Or you might have to prepare a whole essay, and it better be 3 to 5 pages, single line. And if you had erase mark, you have to do it over again, or I'm bored. No, you're not. Go learn a language. So now you're not bored. You know what I mean? So it was excellence. And she was just rooted and grounded. Like, no, you come from educators. We civilized the whole entire world. That's who we really are. We're not enslaved humans here in America. That's not the beginning of your story. It didn't start in South America. It started on Asia Major. And then people left and came back for education. And we are highbrow artists. We are highbrow inventors of written language. We are, so my mother gave it to you like, no, check it out. Like, you're not in this little box that people tell you are. You come from way back here and you're going all the way up here. And along the way, please do keep it elegant, funky, and fresh, and be kind, right? So that's rooted, grounded, inner self, reflective, keep it funky.
Wow. I just need a minute to take this in. This is such a great episode. Oh my gosh, I have so many more questions, but this is the end of our episode.
Hey.
I want to say thank you so much for allowing me into your space.
Thank you.
And just giving me more wisdom and more inspiration to continue.
Keep it going. We count on you, girl.
Thank you.
Yes.
Have a great day, everyone.
You too. Peace. Blessings.